The Ark of the Covenant, the sacred relic that vanished without a trace. Imagine an object so sacred that an entire nation believed it represented the very presence of God. A golden chest unlike any other, carried before armies, protected by priests, hidden within the holiest place of an ancient temple. According to biblical tradition, it contained the stone tablets of the Ten Commandments. For centuries, kings guarded it, prophets revered it, enemies feared it. Then, it disappeared. No confirmed discovery, no surviving artifact, no historical record that clearly tells us where it went. Only questions, only legends, only one of history's greatest mysteries. This is the story of the Ark of the Covenant, the sacred relic that vanished without a trace. Our journey begins more than 3,000 years ago. According to the Hebrew Bible, after the Israelites left Egypt during the Exodus, Moses ascended Mount Sinai. There he received the stone tablets bearing the commandments that would become central to Israelite tradition. These tablets were not treated as ordinary objects. They represented a sacred covenant between God and the people of Israel. Because of their importance, a special chest was constructed to protect them. The book of Exodus describes detailed instructions for its design. It was to be built from acacia wood, covered inside and outside with pure gold. 4 golden rings were attached to its sides. Long poles passed through the rings so the ark could be carried without being touched directly. Its lid, known as the mercy seat, was made of solid gold. On top stood 2 golden cherubim facing one another. Their wings stretched outward until they nearly touched above the center. According to biblical tradition, this space symbolized the place where God's presence would appear. Whether every detail reflects historical construction or sacred symbolism remains a matter of faith and scholarly discussion. But there is no doubt about one thing. The Ark occupied a unique place in ancient Israelite tradition. It was never regarded as a simple container. It was the holiest object in the nation. Throughout the biblical narrative, the Ark accompanied the Israelites during their journey through the wilderness. It was carried only by designated priests. Strict rules surrounded its transportation. The poles remained permanently attached. No one was permitted to handle the Ark carelessly. Several passages emphasize the seriousness of these instructions, reinforcing the Ark's extraordinary sacred status within the biblical tradition. As generations passed, the Ark became closely connected with major moments in Israel's history. The book of Joshua describes priests carrying the Ark as the Israelites crossed the Jordan River. The waters were said to stop flowing until the people had safely crossed. Later, the Ark was carried around the walls of Jericho before the city's dramatic fall in the biblical account. Whether understood as literal history, sacred tradition, or theological narrative, these stories demonstrate the Ark's central importance. It represented divine guidance, divine protection, and the identity of an entire people. Eventually, the Ark found a permanent home. King David brought it to Jerusalem after establishing the city as the political and spiritual center of his kingdom. The event was celebrated with music, dancing, and national ceremony. According to the biblical account, David himself danced before the Ark with great joy. But David would not build its final resting place. That responsibility fell to his son, King Solomon. Around the 10th century BC, Solomon constructed what became known as the first temple in Jerusalem. At its heart stood the Holy of Holies, the innermost chamber, the most sacred room in the entire temple. Only the high priest could enter, and only once each year during the Day of Atonement. According to biblical tradition, this was where the Ark of the Covenant rested, hidden behind curtains, protected from ordinary view, surrounded by profound reverence. For generations, the Ark remained at the spiritual center of ancient Israel. Kings ruled, empires rose beyond the borders, prophets delivered warnings, pilgrims traveled to Jerusalem, and somewhere inside the temple, The ark remained unseen by almost everyone. Yet history rarely stands still. The kingdoms surrounding Israel grew increasingly powerful. Assyria expanded. Babylon rose. Political alliances shifted. Wars reshaped the ancient Near East. The kingdom of Judah faced repeated crises. Prophets warned of coming judgment. Foreign armies approached. Then, in the 6th century BC, disaster arrived. The Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar II marched against Jerusalem. After a series of campaigns, the city was captured. In 586 BC, the first temple was destroyed. Its treasures were carried away. Its walls burned. Its people were taken into exile. The destruction of Solomon's temple became one of the defining events of Jewish history. Yet when later biblical texts describe the temple's treasures being taken to Babylon, one object is noticeably absent: the Ark of the Covenant. Its fate is never clearly explained. No surviving contemporary Babylonian record mentions capturing it. No reliable historical source describes its destruction. No confirmed account records where it went. It simply disappears. And that silence has echoed through history ever since. Did priests hide it before the Babylonian army arrived? Was it secretly removed from Jerusalem years earlier? Was it destroyed during the siege? Or did it survive somewhere beyond the reach of history? For more than 2,000 years, those questions have inspired explorers, historians, theologians, and archaeologists alike. Some believe the Ark still exists. Others believe it was lost forever during the fall of Jerusalem. Many scholars caution that, outside biblical and later religious traditions, direct historical evidence for the Ark's fate remains extremely limited. This is where history gives way to mystery, and mystery gives way to legend. Because once the Ark vanished, stories began appearing across continents. Stories of hidden chambers, secret guardians, sacred mountains, ancient monasteries, and one remarkable claim that has endured for centuries, a claim that the Ark was never destroyed. It was hidden, waiting for the right moment to be revealed once again. If that is true, where has it been all this time? To answer that question, we must follow one of the most extraordinary searches in history. A search that stretches from the ruins of Jerusalem to the mountains of Ethiopia and beyond. When the Ark of the Covenant disappeared from history, it left behind a silence that has lasted for more than 25 centuries. No confirmed artifact, no undisputed historical record, only questions. And where certainty ends, legends begin. One of the oldest traditions claims that the Ark never fell into Babylonian hands at all. According to this view, priests serving in Solomon's temple understood that Jerusalem was in danger. Before the Babylonian army reached the city, they secretly removed the Ark and hid it in an unknown location. Some traditions place it beneath the Temple Mount itself. Others suggest hidden caves beneath the ancient city. Over the centuries, tunnels beneath Jerusalem have inspired countless stories. Archaeologists know that layers of ancient structures, passageways, and underground chambers exist beneath the city. But the Temple Mount is one of the most sensitive religious sites in the world. Large-scale archaeological excavations there are extremely limited. As a result, many claims about hidden chambers remain impossible to verify. This uncertainty has allowed countless theories to flourish. Perhaps the most famous tradition comes not from Jerusalem, but from Ethiopia. According to the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo tradition, the Ark of the Covenant was brought to Ethiopia long before the Babylonian conquest. The story appears in a medieval work known as the Kebra Nagast. It tells of the Queen of Sheba's visit to King Solomon. According to the tradition, their son, Menelik I, later traveled to Jerusalem. When he returned to Ethiopia, the Ark accompanied him. Today, the Church of Our Lady Mary of Zion in the city of Aksum is said by the Ethiopian Orthodox Church to house the Ark. Only one guardian monk is permitted to see it. He remains with it for the rest of his life. No independent researcher has been allowed to examine the object kept there. Because of this, historians cannot confirm whether it is the biblical ark, a later ceremonial replica, or another sacred object. Yet for millions of believers, the question is already answered. Faith does not always depend on archaeological evidence. Another theory suggests the ark never left Jerusalem. Some researchers believe it may still lie hidden beneath the ancient city, sealed inside a forgotten chamber. Others imagine it buried beneath the Temple Mount, protected by collapsed structures and thousands of years of history. Several explorers have searched for evidence supporting this possibility. None has produced conclusive proof. There are also traditions placing the ark in Egypt, or near Mount Nebo in present-day Jordan. One ancient Jewish text, the second book of Maccabees, tells a remarkable story. It claims that the prophet Jeremiah hid the ark inside a cave before the destruction of Jerusalem. According to the account, the location would remain unknown until God gathered his people again. Whether understood as history or religious tradition, the story reflects a powerful idea. The ark was not lost by accident. It was intentionally hidden, waiting, protected, beyond the reach of invading armies. Modern archaeology approaches the mystery differently. Researchers ask practical questions. If the ark existed as described, what materials would survive? Where could it realistically have been taken? What historical records support each theory? So far, none of the proposed locations has produced definitive archaeological evidence. That does not prove the ark never existed. It simply reminds us that absence of evidence is not the same as evidence of absence. History often leaves gaps. Some objects survive, others vanish. Entire civilizations have disappeared before being rediscovered centuries later. The ark remains one of those unanswered questions. Its mystery has inspired explorers from every generation. During the 19th and 20th centuries, numerous expeditions searched the Middle East for clues. Some investigated ancient tunnels beneath Jerusalem. Others traveled across Ethiopia. A few followed stories preserved by local communities. None found conclusive proof. Popular culture embraced the mystery as well. Novels, documentaries, and films transformed the ark into one of the world's most recognizable legendary artifacts. Some stories imagined supernatural powers. Others focused on hidden chambers, secret societies, or forgotten maps. These fictional adventures captured imaginations around the world, but they also blurred the line between history and entertainment. The historical mystery remains far more subtle, and perhaps even more fascinating. Whether the ark survives or not, its influence on history is undeniable. It shaped religious tradition, inspired sacred architecture, appears in centuries of art and literature, and continues to occupy an extraordinary place in the spiritual imagination of millions of people. Perhaps that is why the mystery endures. The ark is not simply a missing object. It represents something much greater. The search for faith, the search for history, the search for humanity's connection to the past. In many ways, archaeology and faith ask different questions. Archaeology asks, what can be demonstrated through evidence? Faith asks, what can be believed beyond evidence? The Ark of the Covenant exists precisely where those two questions meet. It is one of the rare mysteries that belongs to both history and belief. Perhaps one day, a forgotten chamber will be discovered. Perhaps ancient records will emerge from beneath desert sands. Perhaps new technology will reveal evidence hidden for thousands of years. Or perhaps the ark will remain exactly where it has always been. Not only in the search for a physical artifact, but in the human desire to understand our origins, our beliefs, and our history. Sometimes the greatest mysteries are not solved because they continue serving a deeper purpose. They remind us that not every question has an immediate answer. Not every treasure is measured in gold. And not every journey ends with a discovery. More than 2,000 years have passed since the ark disappeared from the historical record. Empires have risen. Empires have fallen. Languages have changed. Civilizations have transformed. Yet one simple question still echoes across history. Where is the Ark of the Covenant? Perhaps the answer lies beneath ancient stones. Perhaps it rests inside a forgotten sanctuary. Perhaps it was lost forever. Or perhaps it has been waiting patiently all along. Waiting for the moment when history, archaeology, and human curiosity finally meet. Until that day comes, the Ark of the Covenant remains exactly what it has been for centuries. One of the greatest unsolved mysteries the ancient world ever left behind.